Welcome back to another episode of See the World.
We are in Camaret-sur-Mer, everyone, and we've just completed our first anchoring, and it's dinghy time. Peanut butter ting, peanut butter ding, peanut butter ding, and a baseball bat. Don't quote me on that.
Let's go.
We're all falling and we need a place to hide.
Hello there, folks. So I'm just tightening up the window in Harold's room. We're expecting some big swells coming in when we are traversing the Bay of Biscay. Just making sure we're not gonna sink.
Morning, folks. We are now in Camaret-sur-Mer. We're gonna start doing some preparations for the Biscay crossing that we're hopefully gonna do this week. I'm gonna start out with do a checkup of all the provision we have enough. But first of all, we're gonna start with putting a focaccia down. Alright, so we're gonna make some focaccia. This is a recipe I got from a really good friend of mine. Right, so starting out with doing 500 grams of flour. And the scale is going between 0 and 20 grams, so it's gonna be a little bit of gamble, but that's alright. A little bit of feeling. And then we're gonna do 400 grams of water, 500 grams, not 500, 5 grams of dried yeast. And the water wants to be 37 degrees, so it activates the yeast. And because I'm a nerd, we're gonna do it with this. Then the yeast into the water. And we use this because I'm not going to waste water and do too much of dishes. I just like to use the same all the way. And just combine water and the yeast, combine that together so it makes out. So it starts the yeast and just whisk it out with, turn it in with the flour and the salt. And it could be a little bit lumpy because this we're now gonna rest this for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna start folding it, doing a cold fold. Cold fold? I think it's cold. And do that every 30 minutes for 3 turns, and then let it rest again. And after that, it's time to bake it. Now this is ready to wait, and I'm using a pot because we don't have any bowls. And then we put the timer on 30 minutes, and then we're gonna fold it. This is a present from also a really good friend of mine. Never used it before, so it's gonna be fun to see if it actually gonna ring because I got it years ago. So while the bread is resting, we're gonna start going through the fridge and dry storage valve. Start combining together dishes, so I know that I have enough food for doing a crossing, and I'm gonna cook up at least 3 meals, so we are prepared for the stormy days, so we don't need to spend a lot of time in the galley and cooking and so on. Yeah, I start to take care of some fruit and cook up some fruit and berry compote for the breakfast opening for us. I'm not going to be that picky today. I'm just going to go a little bit on feeling and a little bit less sugar because I don't think we should eat too much sugar. So, the timer ring for the focaccia dough. So it's time to do the first boiling of it. I always use cold water on my hands so the dough doesn't stick. And then it looks a little bit like this. And now back to resting for another 30 minutes, or rising, or say it like that.
We are still in France, weather is pretty calm today. But before we move to the next step of the journey, we need to fix this steering problem that we had. So the steering, as you know, has been acting up pretty much the whole journey. And the previous owner made like a custom fix to keep it going, but now we have to make it permanent. So yesterday we went out and we found this random piece of metal from a really nice guy in the harbor. And it was the perfect millimeter that we need. So today we're gonna cut it up and fit it into the steering and fix it permanently, hopefully. These are the tools we're gonna need for today. This is the custom piece of metal that we're cutting up and placing in here. And let's get to it. Alright, so we have the metal plate custom made, and the problem is these two cogwheels right here, they are not connecting well enough, and that's making us lose the steering. So the idea is to push up the bottom cogwheel using this plate here, putting it underneath here. First we gotta drill some holes, and then we'll put everything together and see if it works. Alright, so the steering is now fixed for now, we hope permanently. Currently we are discussing whether to cross the Bay of Biscay, which is like one of the most technical sailing areas in Europe. We have some strong winds coming in, and we have orcas to think about attacking the sailing boats. So we're not really sure what to make of it yet, but we are discussing it, and we will make a decision by like an hour from now, because we need to leave tonight to make this happen.
And the window we would want to have is 5 days. Current situation is 3 days, but it will take us 60 hours to cross it, which is 2.5 days. So it gives us a wiggle room of a half day.
Which is not the best.
Great stuff.
Instead of 2.5 days.
And if we don't take this window, it could be potentially weeks. We know it's going to be at least a week, but it could be longer depending on how the weather changes.
Or we have to follow the coastline and go around the whole bay.
Yeah.
And that takes at least a week, since it's storms. We don't really want to sail in that, so we still have to wait until we can do some steps.
So, discussing. We'll find a solution by tonight.
Alright, we're back. I needed to do some charging. The focaccia, after resting and folding, is now in the oven and soon ready. They have started the tomato sauce. Now it's time to do some bird butchering. Gonna cut down a whole chicken. Correction, Gustav told me it's turkey. Coming back again. I can feel it. Alright, chicken is butchered up. I'm gonna cure the meat, and we're gonna put on the stock with the bones, and then I'm gonna do the butchering of the turkey as well. Alright guys, now we're coming to the end of the cooking for today. And now I'm gonna do vacuum seal all of the birds that we're butchering up and curing today. And thanks to Anova, I have got some stuff. Anova, thank you, and the big thanks she did send this to me. So we have the professional of Anova vacuum sealer with some vacuum bags in it. Just roll them out, cut them off, and seal them. Send me one of these nice sous vide boxes. Never used one of those, so that's gonna be nice. And then this sous vide. So let's put everything together and put it on cooking.
We caught something. We don't know what it is, but it looks like an ancient rope of some kind. It might be like another anchor, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a ship that's gone shipwrecked here.
Yeah.
ancient. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's full of seaweed and
Just put it back, or?
what the hell is this?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna give it back to the sea.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's roll.
let's roll. We did, in the end, decide to head out across the Bay of Biscay, our biggest challenge yet. We feel like the rewards outweigh the risk in this case, but we will head out, and in 5 hours we will check the latest forecasts, and then we will make the final decision. Right now we have a 3-day weather window pretty much, but if that shrinks we're gonna turn around and take a different course. But if it stays like it is or becomes even better, we're just gonna head on and push through the Bay of Biscay. Bit nervous, but also really excited. How do you guys feel?
Excited.
Excited and nervous.
Yeah.
Both ways. But yeah,
Nervously excited.
And as you can see, the steering is also open, so we're keeping an eye on in case the steering also breaks again, which feels great.
Special perks.
Yeah. All right, let's head out. And so it was. The boys headed out into the Bay of Biscay. Tune in next week to find out how it went.
better now.